Hey, it's Tina Lorraine, Certified Abundant Mindset Coach and your Ghostwriter Guru. And I just wanted to jump on real quick today. And, I've been enjoying my Saturday. And of course, this morning I started off with a little bit of meditation, as usual. That's my morning routine: meditation, pray, exercise, these things, affirmations. Yes, I practice what I preach. So the same things that I tell you to do, I do them as well. Otherwise, I wouldn't be telling you to do them because there will be no point to it, right? But in my meditation time, what came up to me, and I posted it today, was to develop a mindset for the new things you want to do instead of going off your preconceived notions or your preconceived ideas. I think a lot of times we talk ourselves out of a lot of things. We don't even try because it's something new and because our brain doesn't want to be necessarily stretched, especially if you spend a lot of years in a comfort zone. We get comfortable. Hey, pretty girl. We get comfortable and we just want to stay in our comfort zone. Hey, I'm human. I understand that. But a lot of times when we get ideas, we first of all have to understand that if the idea seems like it's something that's impossible, first you have to understand that means it's from God. Second of all, you have to understand that God has equipped you to do what you see. So this is not something that's going to be done in your strength or something that's going to be done with all of your knowledge, your wherewithal, especially if you don't know what you're doing, right? And that's the first thing we have to realize, is that if it seems impossible, that's a good thing. Because God is all in it, and because your brain, your mindset is going to be stretched. But what you have to understand is your part is to develop a mindset to align to it. So a lot of times we think we can't do something, or we think we're not gifted in the area, or we think we're not talented in the area because we've never operated in it. But a lot of times our gifts and talents have to be recognized and developed first. When I was a teacher by profession for many years, and I still, at this point, tutor kids online. But when I initially started teaching, guys, I didn't know that I was called to be a teacher. But now that I look back over my life, I see things that were pointing me in that direction. But initially, how it came about was I was moving to another state with my very young children. And my best friend, I was moving in with her, and she was homeschooling her kids. And I was coming out of my kids were in a very private school that was very small. And because we were leaving, I was worried about where am I going to find another school like this? We're in a whole other state. I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh my gosh. I was just praying and believing God. I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to find the school, a private school, a good one that I could put them in. But what ended up happening is, before I ever moved out there, I was talking to my girlfriend about homeschooling. And it just resonated with my spirit. It just seemed like something that was great to do. I would be a part of my children's everyday lives and their memories. And that was important to me, to be a part of their lives and their memories. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this. But of course, at the time, I didn't think, I was like, well, who am I to be somebody's teacher? Now, I had a little bit of experience in their school because I did take over and teach fourth grade. Was it fourth grade? Yeah, fourth grade English to my son's class. And then I volunteer. And then, of course, I was helping my kids with their work. But there was, that was just, things that I thought as a parent you're supposed to do. So, of course, I was kind of nervous about starting to really take over my children's education and be 100% responsible for it. especially in areas where I was weak in, because I never liked math. Even though I could do it, I hated it. My strengths were always language arts, or philosophical subjects. I love those. But, I went on and I did it. I took that step and I did it. And eventually I did find them in school, and eventually we ended up moving back. We moved out of Atlanta back here to Chicago. And by then, there were some other steps that I just walked into that I ended up teaching at their school. I ended up meeting some wonderful people, wonderful parents who had the same mindset around education. And as I ended up tutoring at my school as well. And so that was something that I didn't think I had in me. And that brings me around back to me encouraging you that if it's something that you want to do and it's new to you, it does not mean that you are not necessarily gifted or talented in that area. If the idea came to you in the first place, that means there's something in you that's yet undiscovered or that you have not tapped into, and that if you decide to go further with the idea, then you'll discover that you had this type of talent or this gift, and you just didn't know it because you hadn't developed it. So develop a mindset for the new thing that you want to do, instead of going off your preconceived notions and going off of other people's experiences. Sometimes, guys, other people can talk you out of things faster than you can because it didn't work for them. Just because something didn't work for somebody else does not mean it will not work for you, especially if it's divine, especially if it's from God, especially if it keeps coming back to you and you know that it's something you're supposed to do. Then you don't let somebody else talk you out of it either, because a lot of times someone will tell you their experiences and how it failed, but what you have to remember is they might not have been called to do that. That might not be their lane. That might not be their divine zone. And you don't know all the ifs, ands, or buts that was surrounding their situation. So you can't even go off of what somebody else is telling you. Okay, so once you get out of your own way and you decide to go on this journey and do something new, then do your research. First of all, keep it a secret. Why keep it a secret? Because for the reasons I just gave you, you don't want anybody to be able to talk you out of this. You want to give yourself a chance. So keep it a secret, a divine secret between you and God. You don't have to share everything unless you just really have a person that you can trust with your whole heart and won't discourage you, but will encourage you. Now, I have a person like that, so I can share, but I don't share. You don't have to share everything with everybody. So if you feel like you're surrounded by a bunch of naysayers, then keep it a secret. Everybody doesn't have to know what you're doing new. They really don't. And do your research. And how you do your research? You Google it. You YouTube it. You follow people who have done the thing that you want to do, and make sure they match your spirit or your energy. Don't just follow everybody, because there's lots of information out here, and I'm not saying that it's not. There's a lot of information that'll sound the same, and there's a lot of good information out here, and there's a lot of good people out here, but you want to match to the person who's aligned with your spirit. Some people just have a way of saying things that's aligned with you. So, pick you out maybe one or two people who are doing the thing that you want to do and have had the success that you're seeking, or they're on the other side of it, and follow them. And then journal about it, meditate about it, quiet yourself, record or make your own affirmations that you can say. Keep them simple every day about the new thing you're developing. Say, hey, every day you just get up or you think about it, you say, I'm a great teacher. I'm a wonderful teacher. I'm so good at teaching. Like when I was called to speak in the public speaking or speaking online, I've had to affirm myself and say, hey, girl, you are an awesome public speaker. You're an awesome life coach. You're awesome with people. these were not areas I was strong in, but I affirmed them all the time. And even if I missed days, like, you don't have to be legalistic about it. Even if you miss days, I got to the point where my brain was trained that if I started thinking about, oh, I can't stand being around people, or, having those introverted thoughts, I'm naturally an introvert and all these other things, my brain would just kick up and say, girl, you are so good at motivational speaking. Girl, you are a good coach. Girl, you are an awesome coach and teacher. And eventually your brain will become rewired where when those old thoughts rear their ugly heads, and they will, because, evil is always trying to overcome you, always trying to stop you from, fulfilling your destiny, from tapping into your divine self. That's always going to be there. But if you rewire your brain, if you align your mind, then God will stand up inside of you, after time, it will become just an automatic response, and you won't even begin to recognize the person you were. So that's why it's important to, when you start anything new, to keep it a secret. If you really don't have anybody that you can really, really trust with the deep things of your heart, just keep it between you and God for a little while, and do your research. Follow those people, one or two people that are aligned with you. And if you grow it in secret and try it out that way, if you meet with hurdles, or if you feel defeated, you won't have naysayers going, I told you so. I told you not to do that. I told you not to do this. First of all, understand that when you take on something and it's new, it's always going to seem challenging at the beginning because you're learning something new. When I had to start my business online, I had to learn a bunch of systems that I was not accustomed to using. And it seemed like pulling teeth at the beginning. It didn't even seem like, it took me like one whole day to learn one system, a whole day and another day to learn the next system. And I kept messing up stuff and I kept making mistakes. But I knew in my heart that I was supposed to have an online coaching business. So you know what? I kept doing it and kept doing it. I kept following the people that God put in my, using them as resources, these people that God put in my realm, so to speak, my spiritual realm. And it was only a couple of people. I didn't follow everybody and their mama. I just knew the people that I was aligned to, and I followed them, and I kept believing in myself, and I kept my, journaling and meditating and affirming, and I just persevered. And now I can put up a system, something that I struggled with a couple of years ago, I can now do within, 15, 20 minutes most of the time, no longer than 30 most of the time. So that's to encourage you and understand that if you grow something in secret, if you do it in secret, then you can be your own cheerleader, or you can surround or have a couple of people, like I said, online who you're following, who can help encourage you. And so therefore, I just want to encourage you to first, if it's something new, that an idea that keeps popping in your head and you're like, you know what, I'm supposed to do this, but I just really don't know what to do. Grow it and keep it in secret. Follow those people who are doing the same thing you're doing and who are aligned with your energy, your spirit, your vibe. If you grow it in secret, when you try it and you make your mistakes and you all of that, then you don't have the naysayers on your back going, okay, it's time to quit now, or I told you so. No. Don't let naysayers get you off your mark or get you off your journey. All things are hard at the beginning. Like I said, I never knew I was a teacher, and until my circumstances, made me either made me choose to be one or not choose. I could have said no years ago when they didn't have an English teacher at my kids' school. I didn't even have a degree then. I could have said no, but I didn't. I could have said no and they would have found somebody else. But I said yes. And I might have had my reasons, may not have been because I wanted to be an English teacher. My reasons were because it was being part of my kid's life creating memories with them. Because my son, I had to teach his group in one of those English classes. So I was like, this will be so cool. I'll be a part of their lives. But when we say yes to things, even if it's for a different reason than maybe what God sees down the line, all you can do is stay in the now and keep making small steps and saying yes to those small steps, right? So before I jump off, join me on June 10th for storytelling on social media. Just like I shared my story with you about how I became a teacher, that story is aligned to my business. And so a lot of times when we become new coaches or new consultants, first of all, we don't necessarily want to get online and tell our stories because we're shy, we're introverted, we're not used to public speaking, we may not like people. It's not our jam, it's not our comfort zone, it's not our peanut butter and jelly. So we're just like, I don't think it's for me. Well, I'm here to tell you it is for you if it keeps coming up in your heart. And if you join me on class for June 10th, sign up form is in my bio, then we will definitely develop the confidence you need to tell your story online. But we'll also find out the reason why you're opening your business and who your client is, who your ideal client is, because these are important facets in the reasoning of why you're telling your story. Because there are people or potential clients or people that your story will resonate with. And so there is a strategy to using your story online with your business. If you're a coach, consultant, and if you're new at this, join me on June 10th. It's a complimentary course, so there's no excuses like I can't afford it, which is something you should get out of your mouth. But it's complimentary, so you don't have to worry about a price. So all you have to do is click on my link, fill out the sign up form, join the mailing list, and as soon as, about probably a few days before class, we'll send you the link. You'll be able to come in, and voila. You will learn how to align your divine story strategically with your business, because there's business strategy, there's your personal story, there's the confidence, the boldness that you need to tell your story. There's being clear on what story to really kind of use, what your business is, who your business is helping, what problem is your business solving, who's your ideal client. These are all things that we'll take deeper dives into. So I hope to see you on June 10th for telling your stories on social media. Okay, guys, I am done for today. You have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday, and I will see you tomorrow.